Welcome to Core Finance. Gives you great pleasure, as always, to introduce Mr. Matt Brown. Morning to you, young Matt.
Good morning.
Right, let's kick off with headlines this morning. FTSE nears 7,500. Wowee. Is this a currency play now?
Yeah, exactly. It's a currency play. The pound is down. The pound has been pounded on the back of everything going on with the government, Theresa May. So, look, the pound is down. FTSE's going up. We're above, hitting or getting, we are now actually just above 7,500. It is a sterling play, but the thing to look at actually is the FTSE 250, the FTSE 350 and the rest of the industry. So that gives you a better indication of the UK PLC. Now, uncertainty about having another election, another government, who's going to head up, who's going to be PM of this country will start to impact the smaller, medium-sized companies. So whoopie-doo, the FTSE's up on a lower pound, but actually there are bigger implications for this, so look out for that. Theresa May, look, are her days numbered potentially? Failed coup. Yeah, but I think the problems won't go away. We had 30 MPs looking to oust her as PM or leader of the Conservative Party. Really, they need about 50, but I'm sure the long knives are out. There's going to be a lot going on over the weekend, and the market will look at next week. Market doesn't like uncertainty, and there's uncertainty there at the moment, and that's why the pound's so low. Understood.
And finally, non-farm payroll, the big number of the month.
Yeah, big number of the month and the week. I think it's drawn a lot of focus. We'll look, when we go through the calendar, we'll talk about consensus and what that print could potentially be today.
Understood. Let's move on to FTSE One to watch. Tesco's, dividends, it's all good news,
yeah,
isn't it?
Good news this week. However, I've highlighted this with regards to Booker. Now, 7 of the big wholesalers in the country aren't happy that Tesco's are going after Bookers.
Yeah.
And I think the competition authorities will look at that. That's still ongoing. Tesco's maybe just need to focus on what they're doing and seem to be doing quite well. They're a good improvement. Small dividend, albeit I think a penny, whatever it was this week, so some good numbers. But just look at that Booker deal. Tesco always performs better when it focuses on its own business. Their little forays into US didn't work out, China, etc. So maybe if the Booker deal doesn't go through, actually that's a positive for Tesco's.
Understood. In terms of small cap today, Morses Club, putting you first. We've interviewed
Paul Smith, the CEO, on this show. Now, Morses Club is a doorstep lender, whether you like that kind of business or not. However, they have been a net beneficiary of the Provident Financial. They are scooping up agents from Provident Financial, more than happy to leave that model and join Morses Club. So that's good news for them. They have more people on the street, door to door, dealing with loan books, etc. They had interims out yesterday. It's an interesting stock to look, just really for that Provident Financial shift trade.
Well, given that everyone's in so much debt and these almost daily headlines now, that would probably be worth looking at as a portfolio play.
Indeed.
Let's talk currencies and the pound, Great British Pound against the US dollar on a red day again, 130.71. The euro, Great British Pound cross 89.49. The markets are saying rates aren't going up in November, aren't they?
That seems to be the case, and all the good work that Mark Carney has done. The macro prints from the UK actually haven't been that great. Maybe he just wanted to talk up the pound and really didn't think an interest rate hike was on the cards. But again, this potentially is also just the uncertainty. So if there is another election or we do have a new PM, new leader of the Conservative Party, that's uncertainty. Yeah. Will Mark Carney use that as an excuse to not hike rates? Well, we'll have to wait and see.
We shall see. Well, there's a headline, City AM this morning, City dividend on 2018 rate path as Bank of England hike looms. Right, let's talk about broker upgrades, downgrades. Berenberg today, DFS Furniture. Everything always seems to be on sale at DFS Furniture. The previous recommendation was a buy, new recommendation a hold.
Yeah, on the back of numbers, look, the profits are down 20%. They've got issues. People aren't buying those big ticket items. You mentioned off air, the car sales are down. Furniture, whether people are buying that on credit or outright, these are big ticket items, and we're seeing this happen with cars, now furniture, and on the back of this, on the back of the numbers yesterday, Berenberg are basically saying, look, neutral stroke sell on the stock.
Seller of the UK economy, maybe. Right, core number 1,000. What's caught your attention there?
Right, this is reported today, I believe, in The Guardian. Goldman Sachs have rented space in Frankfurt for 1,000 employees. It doesn't seem like a lot, employees I should say, for Goldman Sachs, but at the moment there are only 200 employees in Frankfurt at the moment. Now, Goldman Sachs are quite savvy. This is maybe just a little bit of a hedge against Brexit, post-Brexit. But just be aware, these big investment banks may look to leave the UK. We'll see.
I'm not convinced by that. Right, let's move on to the calendar today. In terms of the UK, the NPC member Haldane speaks, beg your pardon. In terms of the US, we've obviously got non-farm payroll, and we've got the Fed speakers, and in Canada, we've got the unemployment rate. So quite a busy day if you're a trader.
Busy day if you're a trader. Highlight is definitely going to be non-farm payrolls. Look, the headline figure expected to be 90,000. That may seem like a low number, but obviously it's the hurricane effect, and we saw that impact the ADP employment numbers during the week. So expect a low number, but it is the hourly earnings and the unemployment rate that is key at the moment. So strip out the headline, look for those, and they are the key indicators that are going to improve the stance that the Fed is going to raise interest rates.
Finally, to wrap up, I'm bored at the weekends. Any particular highlights of the week in terms of the videos? Anyone caught your attention?
We've had a lot. Mark Oswald in the back end of last week talking about Q4 was very exciting. A lot of talk around the pound and euro dollar. Now, if you're trading those FX markets, we've had a lot of great content this week on those, so check that out on our website.
Matt Brown, thank you very much indeed.